Right now, as you watch this video, there are millions of people scrolling through their feeds, watching your life, studying your moves. But they will never let you see theirs. They're invisible. They don't post, they don't comment, they don't react. And according to psychology, they might be the most psychologically powerful people in the digital age. They've discovered something you haven't. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why your need to post might be your greatest weakness. Welcome back to the channel, where we explore the darkest corners of human psychology. Today, we're diving into something that most people never think about: the psychology of digital silence. But this isn't just about people who are shy or antisocial. No, this is about a specific type of person who has consciously or unconsciously rejected one of the most powerful social systems ever created. And the reasons why will make you question everything you think you know about social media, validation, and your own identity. Let's start with an uncomfortable truth. Right now, someone is watching you. Maybe it's an old classmate. Maybe it's an ex. Maybe it's someone you barely remember. They see your vacation photos, your relationship updates, your proud moments, and they say nothing. They leave no trace, no likes, no comments, nothing. It's like they don't exist. But they do, and they know more about you than you think. This is what psychologists call passive consumption. And here's what makes it fascinating from a dark psychology perspective. These people have complete information asymmetry. They know your patterns, your habits, your vulnerabilities, but you know nothing about them. In any power dynamic, the person with more information holds the power. Think about that. Every time you post, you're giving away intelligence. You're revealing your emotional state, your location, your relationships, your insecurities, disguised as confidence. But these silent observers, they're playing a completely different game. They're not in the arena. They're in the audience, watching gladiators fight while they remain safe and unseen. And according to research, this isn't random. These individuals score significantly higher on traits like self-restraint, emotional independence, and something called internal locus of control. Now here's where it gets really dark. Most people don't realize that social media isn't just communication, it's an audition. Every single post is you asking, "This is who I am. Do you approve?" You're constantly performing, constantly crafting an identity, constantly seeking validation from an invisible audience that may or may not even care. Psychologists call this identity crafting, and it's exhausting because you're not just living your life anymore, you're editing it. You're thinking in captions. You see a sunset, and instead of experiencing it, you're already framing the shot, writing the caption, imagining the likes. Your birthday isn't just your birthday, it's content. Your relationship isn't just your relationship, it's a status update. Your grief isn't even your own. It's filtered and shared with the world. But here's the psychological trap. The more you perform, the more you become the performance. Your sense of self starts to depend on digital applause. You begin to measure your worth in likes and comments. And when they don't come, you feel invisible, worthless, like you don't exist. The people who don't post have broken free from this cycle. They've realized something crucial, that the most authentic version of yourself can never exist in a space designed for performance. They've stopped auditioning. They've stopped asking for approval. And in doing so, they've reclaimed something most people have lost:
psychological ownership over their own life. Let's talk about what's really happening in your brain when you post. Every time you share something and get a like, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical released when you eat, when you have sex, when you use drugs. Social media companies know this. They've hired neuroscientists and psychologists to design these platforms to be as addictive as possible. You're not weak. You're being manipulated by some of the smartest engineers in the world who have one goal: keep you scrolling, keep you posting, keep you addicted. They've created a dopamine loop. Post, wait, check, get validation, feel good, crash, need more, post again. It's a cycle designed to keep you dependent. But here's what's interesting about the people who don't post. Neurologically, they've broken this loop. They demonstrate what psychologists call a strong internal locus of control. This means their sense of happiness and self-worth comes from within, not from external validation. They don't need the digital echo of the crowd to feel real. Studies show that people who step away from constant social validation experience increased emotional stability and life satisfaction. Why? Because they've stopped editing their life into something digestible for others. They're living in all its messy, beautiful, unfiltered complexity. They're not performing for an algorithm. They're existing for themselves. And here's the dark part. When you realize this, you start to see everyone else as trapped. You see your friends posting their best life, and you know it's a performance. You see the influencers, and you know they're slaves to the algorithm. You see the desperate need for validation, and you feel free because you're not playing that game anymore. But not everyone who stays silent is at peace. For some, digital silence comes from a darker place: fear. This is what psychologists call self-presentational pressure, a form of social anxiety amplified by the internet. It's the constant awareness of being watched, the fear that your words will be misread, mocked, or ignored. For these people, the cost of visibility feels too high. They want to connect, but not superficially. They crave being seen truly, not just seen. And they've realized that social media offers the illusion of connection while actually creating isolation. You can have 1,000 followers and still feel completely alone, because those aren't real connections. They're digital ghosts. The paradox is this: social media was designed to connect us, but it's made us more isolated than ever. Why? Because it's replaced real intimacy with performance. It's replaced deep conversation with likes. It's replaced vulnerability with carefully curated highlight reels. And the people who don't post have recognized this trap. They've chosen to rebuild real-world connections. They value the person who checks in without a status update. They find comfort in shared silences, in eyes meeting across a room, in conversations that don't need to be photographed to be real. Their relationships don't require proof in the form of likes or comments. They exist in the spaces between posts, in the moments that never make it to a screen. And here's what's powerful about this: their identity is formed, not performed. They possess what psychologists call identity security, knowing who they are even when no audience is watching. They don't need external validation to know they're real. They don't need to be seen to know they exist. There's a concept in psychology called psychological ownership. It's the deep feeling that a memory or thought belongs exclusively to you. And here's the dark truth. The moment you post something private, that sense of ownership dies. It becomes shared property, vulnerable to misinterpretation, judgment, mockery. What was once sacred becomes public consumption. The people who don't post understand this instinctively. They guard what is sacred. They protect their psychological ownership over their own experiences. They know that not everything needs to be shared, that some moments are more powerful when they remain untouched by the digital world. Think about this. When was the last time you experienced something beautiful without immediately thinking about how to capture it, filter it, caption it? When was the last time you achieved something and didn't feel the urge to announce it? That urge isn't natural. It's a conditioned response. It's the result of a decade of dopamine loops that equate validation with value. Stepping outside this system is a form of healing. It allows you to rediscover the simplicity of doing things for yourself, of living moments that don't need witnesses to be real, of keeping victories private, not because you're humble, but because you're protecting what belongs to you. And here's what makes this truly powerful. From a dark psychology perspective, silence becomes your greatest weapon. When people don't know what you're doing, they can't interfere. They can't judge. They can't copy. They can't compete. Your moves become unpredictable. Your success becomes surprising. Your life becomes truly yours. So here's what we've learned today. The people who don't post aren't hiding. They're not antisocial. They're not missing out. They've simply recognized something that most people haven't, that in a world obsessed with visibility, invisibility is power. They've broken free from the dopamine trap. They've stopped performing their identity and started living it. They've reclaimed psychological ownership over their own experiences. They've built real connections instead of digital ones. And they've discovered that being unseen is not the same as being insignificant. Privacy is not loneliness, it's intimacy with oneself. Silence is not emptiness. It's the space where real thought happens. And invisibility is the ultimate form of control in an age where everyone is fighting to be seen. The most profound transformations happen quietly. Growth, grief, private victories, they don't need witnesses to be real. And the people who understand this, they're not missing out on life. They're experiencing it more deeply than those of us who are too busy performing it. So the next time you're about to post something, ask yourself, am I sharing this because it matters or because I need validation? Am I living this moment or performing it? Am I free or am I trapped in a cycle designed to keep me addicted? The answer might disturb you, but that disturbance, that's where real change begins. Because once you see the cage, you can't unsee it. And once you understand the game, you can choose whether to keep playing or to step away into the silence, where the real you has been waiting all along. Thanks for watching. If this video made you uncomfortable, good. That means you're thinking. And if you're one of those silent observers watching this right now, we see you and we understand.